Hi, welcome to Heart Talk, a 6-part relationship podcast that invites you to have real conversations about real relationship realities. So the purpose of the podcasts is to give you tools to reconnect and develop healthy relationships. My name is Jose Yartu.
And I am Cheryl Yartu. We have been married for 36 years and have lived through and experienced the different seasons of our marriage prior and after our relationships.
And we have a practice called J&C Relationship Counseling, and we've been involved in counseling since 2009. And our passion is to help you, whether you're single or a couple, to put some healthy values, structures, principles, and practices in place so that you will build and maintain healthy relationships for your life. In today's podcast, we're going to cover the five key practices for building a healthy relationship. You know, we found in our experience, we've found that building a healthy relationship requires dedication, it requires communication, and it requires mutual respect. So we wanted to present to you, as I said, the 5 key principles to help you foster that relationship. The first one is a very common one that a lot of couples, if you ask them what the problem is, they'll tell you communication. So the first one is effective communication. And what that is really open and honest communication. And it's the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Partners should feel comfortable when they are expressing their thoughts or expressing their feelings or your concerns. And you shouldn't fear that you're going to be judged. You shouldn't fear that there's going to be some reprisal for what you're saying. And just to share in my own experience, and obviously there's many examples I can share, but just about a year and a half ago, one of the things is when I started a coaching practice that I also have, it was obviously something new for me. I was concerned. I had certain thoughts about it, certain feelings about it. And when Cheryl asked me, what am I feeling or thinking, I shared with her, I'm feeling apprehensive. I'm feeling nervous. I'm not sure where this is going to go. Is this going to work? But at the same time, also, I'm feeling good. So I had to share those things with her. In the beginning of a relationship, I would just say, oh, no, it's okay. Or, regardless of what I'm feeling inside. So in sharing that, she was able to also understand where I was at. Another example was my mom recently passed away, end of December. And again, she said to me, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, just before it happened, because we were expecting it to happen soon. And again, I had to be vulnerable. I had to share what those feelings were about my mom's death. So that's important, being able to express it. And I knew, and I've learned that Cheryl's not going to judge me. She's not going to put some value, to what I'm saying. She's just going to listen to what I'm saying. And the other part of good, open, honest communication is whoever's listening, you need to listen in an active way, not in a passive way. So, and so even there, when I ask Cheryl what she's thinking or feeling about something, I've intentionally will give her my attention because I know I can be easily distracted. So I will give her my attention. I will stay in the present moment, listen to what she has to say, and even reflect back what she's saying so that she knows I'm understanding or I'm hearing what she is saying. So those are all key things around effective communication.
The second one is trust and transparency. Trust forms the foundation of a strong relationship. So in order for you to be trustworthy, you need to be proven reliable. You need to be honest. You need to be transparent with your partner. You need to build a trust that takes on a consistency. So if you need to prove over and over again to your partner, because sometimes we promise each other something and then we don't hold true to that promise. So let your partner know that your word is your word, and whatever you say, you will fall back on. I just want to maybe share that in our relationship, the way we build trust with each other is we actually openly share everything that goes on in our life. And I think one of the big things we share is how we handle our finances. Even though Jose ultimately handles the crux of the finances, I do have the responsibility of spending it in a very safe and wise way. Yeah. So what I would do is everything I spend it on, I would say to him, this is what I've spent it on. Not because he doesn't trust me, but because it's important that we actually have that open communication. I actually find that with lots of couples we counsel, the husband and wife don't even know what the other one earns. And that can cause a big problem in the relationship. So, we're very open, we're very transparent. Our word is our bond, and that's exactly how we like to keep it. What I also found is with Jose shared about effective communication. I think with us, what I also went through recently is my mom is in hospital. And because I'm more emotional than what Jose is, I don't always know if I can share things with him without him actually not understanding. So I've had to learn that the more I'm vulnerable with him, the more I'm transparent with him, the more I'm open with him, the more he actually knows how to be there for me, how to ask the questions that I need to hear from him. So to just, and it's not a once-off thing, you've got to keep on asking. You've got to keep being there for each other. And
Yeah, if I can just add something before we move on to the next one regarding trust. Many times we kind of say, well, if the person proves to be trustworthy, I will trust them. But in actual fact, trust, a good definition of trust is exchanging truth about yourself. So the more you are telling your partner what's going on within you, what you're thinking, all those, like we mentioned, even with communication, the more you build a trust. And that's what we have found, the more you hide things from each other, the more you destroy the trust. And every time you express a need, also if that need's not being met for whatever reason, the trust is broken. Okay. Whereas if it's getting met, the trust is built.
I think also the trust is built on, sometimes people don't know how to actually ask for what they need. I think I was not able to actually express in words, and I expected him to know what was going on in my mind. So I've learned how to communicate in a better way. I've learned to ask for what I need, and it made it easier for Jose to respond to me and actually to help me in those areas.
Right, so let's move on to the third one. It's respect and support. And that's mutual respect. Okay. And that's also very key for maintaining a healthy relationship. You got to treat your partner with kindness, with empathy and consideration. You got to respect their boundaries, their opinions, even respect their personal space. It's also important, part of respect and support is obviously supporting them in terms of their goals, their aspirations, and individuality. You've got to show appreciation to your partner for their efforts, their strengths, the gifts that they have, and be there to offer encouragement if they're facing challenging times, which we all do. So for me, when Cheryl is expressing fear or stressed about something going on in her life, the way I offer support is I ask her, what she's feeling. and what can I do to support her. When Cheryl has a different opinion on something, I allow her to express that opinion. As much as I might not agree with it, and not most times, many times I disagree, because she sees things differently, and I seek to understand. So that's being empathetic and listening to your partner, and also in terms of supporting her for who she is. She's a good connector, better connector than I am. So she loves just to engage with people and connect with people, and sometimes she does it in context where, like, really, do you want to do that now? And so I've had to learn, that's who she is, and encourage her to do that. She's also, very good at taking her thoughts and putting it on paper, more than maybe she is in verbalizing it. So I encourage her, all those things that you write down, because she writes these things down, and then she comes and reads. You want to listen to what I've read? She reads them to me, and I go, wow, that's inspiring or amazing, and encourage her that way. And I say to her, you should actually put a little book together, and a journal or something, and share that with people. So yeah, that's respect and support.
Number 4 is conflict resolution. So disagreements and conflict are inevitable because we are different in personality, because we have different giftings. We will obviously disagree with each other, and it's fine, because disagreements is not necessarily unhealthy. It's actually a way. I find that with Jose and I, when we disagree on things, we actually build a stronger relationship, because we get to know each other better by experiencing our differences. So the way I relate and connect with people is very different to Jose, which is fine. The way I understand and the way I interpret people are also very different. So healthy couples communicate openly during conflicts, which actually strengthens their relationship. Seeking to understand each other's perspectives and find mutually acceptable solutions. And this requires avoiding blame, not criticizing, not being defensive when your partner actually tells you something about yourself that you could actually improve on. Because if you actually step into that space of defending, then the argument will escalate and the conflict will actually get worse. And then maybe just to share with you how I connect with people, which is so different to Jose. I have a way, because I have not been affirmed as a child, because I felt that I wasn't heard as a child. We grew up very differently, and we were not allowed to speak unless we were spoken to. So in that way, I think I felt I didn't have a voice. Where I now, during our marriage, have grown in that area, that what I share and what I have to say is valuable. And it might be different to Jose, but it's just as important as what he has to say. So what I do is I reach out to people. If I feel that they're on their own, I will go to them, I will hug them, I will chat to them. So, and I love doing that. I know in church I go around and I will hug everyone. I will find out how they're doing. And I know that they appreciate it, because I can see it in the way they look at me and the way they respond to me. Another way that we are so different is if I listen to a sermon on a Sunday, we'll chat about it afterwards, and I'll say, Jose, what did you get out of it? And I'll share what I got. And he'll say, but were you at the same service? And I used to feel very intimidated, because I used to think what I had to say was wrong. But I realized that it's just different. So getting to understand each other's differences and accepting it. And I think it actually has lowered the tension level, and it's enabled us to connect on a better way.
Yeah, just to add to that, so that whole thing of her being so different used to be points of conflict. Used to be like, why you do that? Why do you say that? Why do you think like this? Why do you always run around in Crete? Why can't? And we had to, in a healthy way, recognize our differences and give each other the space and allow each other to be where we are and not let it be a point of conflict, you know. So you just got to recognize is there's going to be many triggers and places that you could disagree on and you will disagree on, but it's how you talk through those disagreements and handle that's going to be a healthy way. And that just builds bonding. It creates more bonding for you. And then we get to the last one, quality time and intimacy. And funny enough, if you've heard of the concept of love languages, but maybe in one of the podcasts we might touch on, but otherwise get to know about it. But one of her top love languages, in fact, the top one is quality time. So for Cheryl, it's like a big one in terms of, does he love me, you know? So spending time with your partner, spending time together is what's key. And so you've got to make the effort if you're going to build this healthy relationship to engage in activities that you'd enjoy together, all right? So it could be going for walks. Okay, Cheryl loves walking along the beach. I'm not a favorite. Beach walks, not my favorite pastime, but I'll go, you know, because I know it builds connection. She always comes away, oh, I'm feeling so happy that we walked along the beach. And then, you know, cooking together, although she's the better cook, but we do it together. We have date nights. We celebrate all our occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, very important, and spend that time together, just the two of us. And we also do a daily routine of a coffee time. So whether it's going somewhere and having coffee, or it doesn't have to be, most times it's actually at home, just sitting in a room, enjoying a cup of coffee together. Cheryl says I make better coffee than she does. So, we do the coffee thing, and it's time together, just sharing what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling about the past, the present, or something we're going to be doing together or separately, you know. So it all builds that emotional closeness, and it builds vulnerability, you know. So you obviously got to be vulnerable in those times. You can't just talk about high-level communication, you know. Oh, what's the weather like? You know, did you watch that on TV? You know, you got to get down to the feelings, opinions, emotions. All right. So quality time and intimacy is very key.
Can I just catch up on that as well? I think quality time for me is important, and I had to explain to Jose what that means. Is that when I am feeling that I need to be listened to, it's not about him fixing me. Because men, I'm generalizing now, but men feel that they need to fix their wives and they need to find a solution. Whereas when I speak to him, all I want for him is to listen to me. And then I know that he's understanding me. Not to say anything, but just to be there for me. His presence makes all the difference. And to give me his full attention.
So those are the 5 key priority practices. There's many others, but I think if you can get those 5 consistent and practicing, your relationship will be much healthier. And you will build a strong foundation of love and of trust and mutual respect. And what that will do is, by building that connection, it will help you face life's challenges. Because life's going to bring challenges, whether it's financial challenges, career challenges, children, parenting challenges, challenges with family, with community that you're part of. And, you know, if you're not building that connection and you're not doing these practices, you're going to feel very disconnected. And when those challenges come, they're just going to rip you apart as a couple, you know. Also, remember that your relationship is unique, all right? So although these are common practices and good, you still have a uniqueness about your relationship. So you need to communicate how you're doing with these things and what you're struggling with and what's going well. And you've got to adapt these practices to suit your needs and circumstances. So, thank you for listening to Heart Talk. I hope you found it helpful. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and also leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And if you found this episode helpful already and you want to book a session with us, please contact us at jcyartu@telcomsa.net and we will respond to you. So until next time, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.